everybody, this is Tonetta. I'm coming to you all with another cooking, actually this is a baking demonstration. This is my first ever baking demonstration, me making a homemade pound cake. And I already have the only thing I can do is use this actual big mixer that I have. Because the hand mixer will probably make too much vibration and the camera, my phone may fall. So I chose to use this for today. But I found the recipe online. It's called Old Fashioned Blue Ribbon Pound Cake. So I'm making that, and what the recipe calls for is, of course, room temperature. Make sure that you have 2 cups of real butter, not the margarine, anything like that. It has to be the real, either salted or unsalted butter. And that's kind of up to you, however you want your taste to be. But it has to be room temperature and soft. 10 large eggs, and those also have to be room temperature. 3½ cups of sugar, regular granulated sugar. 4 cups of sifted all-purpose flour, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And so, like I said, that's what I'll be using today for this recipe. And that's the recipe that I found online this morning. So I wanted a pound cake that was moist and also have like the crust on the outside, that kind of thing, in accordance to the recipe. Because I've used several others as well. They were fine. I just wanted to try something different. And I said that's how this actual cake is supposed to turn out. So I also have my bundt pan, because it's actually going to be a bundt cake, and I don't know how many, well, here it is. I don't know how many cups. I think that holds 10 cups, I think, through the bundt pan. And I have, of course, like my little measuring spoon, my spatula, that kind of thing to, of course, knock down the sides. And I'm going to go ahead and get myself started. So with that, I hope everybody is doing well today. And this cake is actually being made, trying to switch my cookbook, y'all. I can get much counter space in here, so I just washed dishes and I want my whole entire book to be wet, my recipe book to be wet, but you see, trying to set it up here so it can be dry. So like I said, with that, I want to go ahead and get started. So I'll be reading this recipe along with y'all as I go. But another thing, as far as the oven, I'll turn that on as soon as I get my butter going. But it's supposed to be at 350. It's your oven temperature. And just keep in mind with this particular pound cake, it says depending on your oven, it's supposed to bake at least an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. So I would say I never use the full time. It just depends on how my cake is looking. Because you won't be able to see that part, of course, but once I bake it, that kind of thing is going to take so long. So I'm not going to be able to sit here on camera for an hour talking while we're having the cake going. But I just want to let you know that it does cook on 350 for at least an hour to hour and 15 minutes. And like I said, the best way that I've ever been able to, of course, test to see if my cake is done, of course, maybe like after 45 minutes or 50 minutes or so, I'll go ahead and get some toothpicks and start poking around, like a few little pokes at the top, to see whether like any mix comes out on the toothpick. If it does not, then I know that it's done, no matter whether it's an hour past or 45 minutes past or whatever. I'll still go ahead and take that cake out the oven. So like I said, that's how I test mine. And then I also look and see whether, like with this bundt pan, because whenever you're baking, actually any kind of pan, usually when your cake is done, I've always noticed that the cake, of course, comes apart from the side just a little bit. There's like a little gap in between like the cake and the side, that kind of thing, and it's moving away and it's getting tighter, I guess you can say. And that kind of way, like I said, that's how I know that my cake is done as well. So those are the 2 ways I actually test to make sure that my cakes are coming out well, and coming out done. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get the butter. Because I already have, and it says 2 cups of butter, so that's 4 sticks of butter. And I threw the package away, y'all, but it's just like the regular unsalted butter. It's the one that I don't know if y'all probably can't see that, but it's unsalted butter. And that's the one that I normally use, actually, for my baking. So I'm just putting all those, and each one of these sticks is a ½ cup. Just keep that in mind. It has the measurements actually on the side of this. It says 8 tablespoons is a ½ cup. So in order to get 2 cups of butter for this recipe, you got to use a whole box of butter, and that's 4 sticks. Just keep that in mind. I'm trying to get these out of here because they've been sitting up here since this morning. They're a little bit sticky there, so there we go. If I can get that out of there. It's falling, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's going. There we go. It's spinning up, but it's going. All right. That's 1. Now I'll knock that down as soon as could you see it sticking up. It's just sitting up there like a little tree or something, but I'll knock it down shortly. Okay. There it goes, let's go to the side. Alrighty, that's 2 sticks. And it says once I put the butter in there, you're supposed to cream the butter until, well, same thing. Mix cream the butter until it's, of course, fluffy. Until it's smooth for me. Just depends. But it says until it's all creamed together. So, of course, it's going to be like a fluffy type, smooth type consistency. And I hope everybody's doing well today. I know I'm still on vacation, y'all, but I'm actually making this cake for someone that actually purchased one for Thanksgiving. So I'm actually doing that. That's what I'm doing now. So making the cake for her. So she'll see this tutorial later, I'm sure. But I'll definitely let her know that I did her cake and it's on video. So, okay, let me see. And it says to, of course, like I said, with the butter, add 2 cups of butter and beat until it's soft and no lumps. So, go ahead and get this started. Hopefully we don't have any problems with, sometimes y'all might have to turn this thing right because sometimes it goes another way. It doesn't really come out right. My phone touched it. I mean, shoot. I knew that was going to happen, okay. Alright. So I'm going to stop that for a second, y'all. Well, I'll try to set this back up there as I knew it was going to fall. Sorry. I didn't mean to curse y'all, but I knew it was about to fall, so let me see. I don't know how I'm going to set this up here, then I may not be able to do this tutorial. We'll see. I'm trying to see if I can just set it right here. Maybe I can set it right there. And maybe it won't rock too much, my phone will fall. So I'm using my cell phone, y'all. That's the only thing I got to use for these things. So I'm using my cell phone. Let me see if I can scoot this back just a tiny bit. That's, I think, as far as it goes. Yep, that's about as far as it goes. So trying to get that so you all can at least see what's going on as much as you can. But, oh, crap. Okay, there we go. I think I got it, y'all. Sorry about that, but I'm trying to work with this phone and work with this mixer, I guess I'd say. Trying to get things going. And I'm like, Lord, that's like I said, I know I don't have the proper setup. That's okay, but as much as I can get, that's how it's going to come out. I guess I say that as far as I can, whatever I can do for it. So I'm going to try to work with what I got. So let me see. Okay. I think the butter was just kind of all over the place. Let me see. Let me see. I need to turn this on to get this off the sides. And whenever you're making a cake, y'all, make sure that you're, of course, have your spatula ready and that you're pushing the mix back down inside the bowl. Because you don't want to have a cake that has half-beaten butter, half-beaten eggs on the side, that kind of thing. So make sure that you have that spatula. Now, I may not use this the entire time, but I will use it throughout the time. So just keep that in mind, y'all. Hopefully that won't looking at my phone too, y'all. I see it rocking, but it's okay so far. I think it's okay. Trying to make sure it is smooth, even though you all can't really see all of this, but this is how my butter looks inside of here. It's actually pushed along the side, but like I said, that's okay. But it is, of course, smooth. So that's what the recipe called for, smooth and no lumps. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start getting the sugar together. And I think it calls for 3.5 cups of sugar. So I'm going to get my little sugar thing out of here. And whenever I'm measuring you all, I always use a knife. I always use a knife to, of course, even out my flour and sugar. Actually, any kind of powdery substance I'm putting into my measuring cups. I always do that, y'all. Just keep that in mind. And I'll show you what I mean shortly. So give me 1 second. Uh-oh. Trying to move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay. Oh, I got the measuring cup. Got the measuring cup. Actually, let me do the 1/4. That's a little bit. And I'm using a 1/4 of a cup thing because I can't find my 1/2 cup. I'm not sure what happened to it. It wasn't even in my little baking box, so I got to use 2/4, and then of course it's a 1/2. So I don't know how to show you all this, but I guess I'll do it over here first and then come over and show you all. Like I said, how I even out my mix, my dry ingredients is whenever I'm, of course, trying to, get them. Trying to see if I can get over here. I may not be able to show you all this, but what I'm talking about is going across the top of your your measuring cup like this just to knock off any excess. That's the best way I can show you all because it can't really get over there because it's the way it's set up now. Like I said, I hope you all are doing well. And I don't even know what to talk to y'all about today. I'm not even sure yet. Well, you know what? I guess I can talk to you all about knowing your boundaries. Making sure that you know your boundaries with dealing with other people. And the reason why I say that because I know I actually have a person that I know online, and of course it seems like lately every time she's of course corresponding, that kind of thing, it's mentioning other people and stuff like that. And I mean, I had to me, in order for me to talk about someone else or cause I don't gossip or that kind of thing at all. Maybe not something to be concerning about, what we want to talk about, and trying to pray for the person and letting that person know what's going on with what we're doing. And yes, then that I'm fine. But if it's just to pass along gossip and that kind of thing, I'm not that kind of person. And I can care less about all that kind of stuff. I mean, if the person's not there with me, talking on the same video or whatever it is, or the same conversation, and I can care less to, of course, say anything about that person. So like I said, I've dealt with that a little bit this morning. Just having, like I said, a conversation with someone, person reaching out and talking about so-and-so, this and that. You know, I'll actually, I started making the cake, so I did some other things before that, but I will be, of course, letting her know today, once I get done with this, that if she doesn't have me, she can, of course, still contact me, that's fine. But if she just contacted me just to, of course, gossip about so-and-so and so-and-so, I don't want to hear that kind of stuff, and don't bring it my way. Like I said, that's what it seems like it's been lately with her. Not lately, but I mean like the last two conversations. Just wanting to, of course, talk about whoever, not talk about them, just put them down, that kind of thing, but just all when somebody, I don't know how to put it, I guess all when somebody else's business and don't know the flavor, don't know what's going on. I can't say there's any jealousy going on at all, I don't know. It could be, I have no idea, but my thing is I don't care to hear about so-and-so, what they're doing. I don't keep tabs on people like that, and I can care less about that, to be honest. I mean, yes, I love everybody, I want to see everybody happy, doing well, that kind of thing, but I'm not going to be busy in myself with somebody else's life when I have my own damn life to take care of. That's how I look at that. And like I said, just you have to know your boundaries and know what you want to put up with and what you're not going to put up with. And like I said, that kind of stuff I never put up with, and I'm not going to put up with. I guess I say that. And I said that's never been me. Now, I've never been that kind of person. I can care less unless I'm actually praying for someone and it's a constructive type situation like that. But as far as me actually just want to hear about this person's life, what's going on all the time, I don't care. Unless it's affecting me some kind of way. Yes, I know that may sound cruel, that kind of thing. But in my eyes, it's just like, okay, if they're not affecting me, I don't care who they're having sex with. I don't care who they're visiting. I can care damn less. Let them go ahead and go on for having fun. And not hurting or harming nobody else, so what? That's their business. I don't care to hear about that stuff, every conversation or every late conversation that I've had. I don't care about that kind of stuff. Like I said, that's just never been me. I'm not in somebody else's business all the time to, of course, know what's going on. Unless they're here in my household, other than that, I don't really care what's going on. As long as me and that person has a cordial relationship and we get along, that's all that matters to me. And of course, we can call ourselves sisters or call ourselves whatever. But like I said, that's all I care about. Yes, I do care about the person's well-being. I don't want to sound too I guess nonchalant, don't care, that kind of thing. It's not that I don't care, just that I have my own set of things that's going on right now. It does not concern that person, and their life don't concern me either. And like I said, with somebody coming to you with different things that's going on with somebody else, and all on their Kool-Aid, don't know the flavor, don't know this, don't know that. To me, it's just a bunch of gossip. That's just how I feel about it. And like I said, that's just not anything that I ever do at all. So I will be, of course, sending that person a little, not going to be mean or anything like that, but just to let the person know. So of course, just don't contact me just to talk about whatever so-and-so is doing, because I don't care about what they're doing. Yes, I may see the pictures come across social media, that kind of thing, that's fine. And I'll say, like, of course, like, hello, how you doing? Hope you're having fun, that kind of thing. I don't want to sit there and gossip about anybody, but I have no idea what's going on in their life or anything else. Like I said, I will be confronting that person a little bit later on today. Once I'm done with this, just let them know, of course, if you don't have anything else to talk to me about, besides sharing somebody else's life that I don't really, it's more like in a gossipy kind of way, to be honest. I don't do things like that. So like I said, you definitely have to know your boundaries. That's just the most recent situation that I've dealt with today. And yes, it was another female, and usually that's where I get that kind of stuff from, it seems like. With other women, well, I'm not sure, but just seems like women are a lot more gossipier, it seems like, than men, of course. But like I said, I have to definitely make sure that I let her know that do not approach me with that kind of stuff. It happened, once, twice before, 2 or 3 times before, recently, in the last month, and then again this morning. So like I said, I'll definitely be contacting her to let her know that I don't appreciate that. And if, of course, I mean, I don't mind talking about her situation, my situation, just us on, of course, like our other conversation, where we want to talk about ourselves, but I don't want to be including everybody else's, what they're doing. I heard so-and-so said so-and-so somewhere. I don't care about that. Like I said, if they're somewhere, let them be somewhere. If you're not there, you're jealous about it, that's on you. It's how I look at that thing. So I'm going to go ahead and get this butter. I put 2.5 cups of sugar in here now. I'm going to go ahead and try to stir it up some to go ahead and get it going. So I got one more I got to put in there too. I at least want to go ahead and get that started, y'all. Before it gets too out of hand and gets too clumpy. But like I said, you definitely have to know your boundaries. Know what you want to put up with. It doesn't matter whether it's a girlfriend or I guess a good friend of yours, family, whoever it is. Your mate, it doesn't matter who it is. But you just have to know your boundaries. Like I said, as far as you deal with other people, socialize with other people, you're not the type of person who's a gossip type person. It's coming to you like that. You always have the right to know your name. That's what you're doing. I was like, a little bit more. I was a little bit asleep, so I will let them know today. I'll wake up there. Yes, I said that. I gotta push down these. Whoa, going the wrong way. Okay. And I gotta push down these sides, y'all. But like I said, you definitely have to know what you're gonna put up with and what you're not gonna put up with. And like I said, that kind of stuff I don't put up with. So this morning I did let her, I just admitted, well, of course in the conversation, trying to bring up so-and-so and all these kind of things, I just kind of pushed the conversation along to something else. But like I said, I will definitely let that person know that I did not really care. It's not my business. They're adults. They can do what they want to do. Is how it ended that. But like I said, I'm going to have to actually let her know on a different kind of conversation that I don't appreciate those kind of things. And do not come to me with somebody else's gossip about what you heard because this person so-and-so, so-and-so. I don't really care. I mean, I think that her and the other person may have fell out in the past or that kind of thing. It's not my problem. And now she's getting her information from another source, and I don't care to hear that. So like I said, I'm going to be letting her know that today. So, and I just smush down the side so I can get this stuff in there and make sure everything is mixed up properly. And make sure that you always do that, no matter what kind of recipe you're making. Make sure that you all are doing that. I'm trying to see. When I go backwards, it actually seems to mix up better. I don't want to break my thing either, but it seems to mix up better. I'm trying to get this out of the blue other picture. There we go. Like I said, definitely y'all, you have got to know your boundaries. No matter who you're dealing with. I don't care if it's a coworker, because if you're not the kind of person who wants to hear all that kind of stuff, people will just come to you with different things. And back in the day, I can admit that. Back in the day, I, of course, used to just listen and listen and listen, that kind of thing. Not really caring what they're saying and not really adding any 2 cents, but just listening. And like I said, at a point, I had to realize that I'm adding to the problem if I'm just sitting there just listening and listening like I'm just condoning everything. So I no longer do that. So like I said, that's something I had to realize. By me just sitting there listening, that means to me, like I said, it may not be what you think, but I'm adding to the problem. Is how I look at it. Now is how I look at it. Like I said, I don't do that anymore, but that's how I was looking at it back then. Now, I'm sorry. Back then I didn't see it that way, but I had to learn that's what it meant for me. And that's why I no longer sit there and just listen to anything. My thing is, if that person's not with me and able to add their 2 cents or to talk about their issue or whatever's going on, I have no idea what the situation is or what the hell's really going on. All I know is that somebody's constantly gossiping about them, whatever the case may be. This is happening. This person want to have sex with someone. I don't care. If you want to fuck them, go ahead and have sex. I don't care, whatever's going on. And that was part of the conversation. I'm like, okay, she's a grown-ass woman. Let her use her body, however she want to use her body. If that's what she want to do, let her go ahead and do it. It's not my problem. She's on vacation. She'll have her fuck everybody. I don't care. Whatever she want to do. Like I said, that's definitely up to her. I can care less about those kind of things. Like I said, that's something I have to talk to her about. Let her know to not even approach me with anymore. If so, I won't be chatting. I'm not gonna. I don't block people. I've only blocked like one person because it was just a ridiculous situation that was going on. But other than that, I don't block anybody. I may have been blocked, yes, but I don't block anybody. So if she doesn't understand that and doesn't honor my boundaries, then yes, I'm gonna have to cut our time short. I guess as friends, I guess I'd say that. So I'm hoping that she understands my boundaries and of course respects what I'm saying. Like I said, if not, then that's fine. But I mean, I know how to deal with her from now on. I guess I say that. I will know how to deal with her from now on. So it won't be just a hello, goodbye. That's all it'll be. To be honest, and nobody respects my boundaries. I mean, I can still be cordial, still be alone with people, but other than that, it won't be anything else. That's how I treat everybody else. So I don't want to hear all that gossiping mess. Like I said, you definitely have to know what kind of boundaries to set with yourself. Like I said, if there's nothing that you want to hear, you don't have to hear it. Go on to the next. Let that person know that you don't appreciate what they're doing. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to read the recipe. So it says the next I have to add the eggs one at a time. So I have these 10 eggs in this recipe. I'm going to go ahead and get this over here. Start cracking these eggs. Let me see, I'm trying to put I'm make sure this all 10 right now. Like I said, you do not have to sit there and be a brunt to anybody's situation that's going on. If you don't like it, you don't want to hear the conversation, you don't have to, y'all. I can tell you that. Be your own person and walk away from it. And just let that person know that you don't appreciate whatever it is that they're doing. And it could be your mate, could be your family, whoever it is, doesn't matter. But if you don't agree with what they're saying, don't want to be in the middle of what they're talking about, you always have the right to, of course, let them know that. It's kind of like using this thing, because it don't seem like it does right to me. Seems like if I do it the other way, and it can't go the other way right, and it seems like it's just messing up the whole battery. But maybe it's me. Something I have to deal with, and I can't wait till I have an actual stationary place where I can show you all these things, and actually have a actual good stand and that kind of thing on top of the counter. But this is all on my stove, y'all, so I'm trying my best to do it on top of my stove so you all can see kind of what's going on. It's kind of hard, but that's okay. It's alright, there's one egg, and all these eggs have been sitting out since this morning. They're at room temperature, so they're just dandy. Just dandy, just dandy, just dandy. I'm adding them one at a time. That's what most recipes for pound cakes. I'm not sure why it calls for one at a time, but that's what it calls for. So I'm doing it one at a time. That's what it says. That's what I'm doing, is following the recipe on this one. That's what it calls for, one at a time. Like I said, I'm gonna have to do this the backwards way because it's not, doesn't seem like it beats up right when it goes the actual way it's supposed to go. That's why I keep turning it, y'all. And like I said, with boundaries, I don't care if it's your mate, if it's your mom, dad, whoever else, you want to be respected and you want to have a sane mind, I guess I can put it that way, and stay out of the drama. Sometimes we have to tell people that what you are going to put up with and what you're not going to put up with. I mean, it may hurt their feelings. I'm pretty sure they may stop talking to you. I'm pretty sure that could happen too. But at some point, if you want to stand up for yourself and not be in those kind of situations, you will have to, of course, speak your mind and say something about it. Those are your boundaries, and those are things that you want to, of course, you can be included on wherever you want to be included on. You don't have to be, of course, in the thick of things, especially if it's going against your morals, your values, that kind of thing, or you're just not caring what's going on. It's just too much. Because sometimes women, I know I've dealt with many women, I'm a woman myself, work around women a lot. I'm a social worker, so that's mostly who is in my office. But of course, you can imagine how different gossip goes and that kind of thing. It happens all the time. And like I said, I have to take myself out of those things as well. I don't want to hear that. If that's whatever your situation is with so-and-so, let it be. I mean, I don't care about that. That's something you have to deal with. And obviously, your boundaries weren't set with that person either. or whatever the case may be. Like I said, I just can't listen to those kind of things. And I've never been the kind of person to actually listen to anything like that. Well, to a certain extent. Because like I said, back in the day I did, of course, listen. I may not have said anything about it unless it was something just to be truthful, and maybe you should pray for that person, or maybe you should try to talk to so-and-so, see if you can work this out, that kind of thing. Now that I will do. I've always done that. But as far as me just want to gossip about somebody and just, oh, so-and-so's here now, so-and-so's there now, who they haven't, I don't care about that. Like I said, I've just never been the type that actually cared about things like that, and I don't know if you all are either, but like I said, at some point you have to set your boundaries. Now that I know I can create those boundaries, it wasn't until, I knew I can always create those boundaries, but it wasn't until last year where I had eye-opening experiences where I could, of course, learn how to speak my truth and all that kind of stuff, and speak my mind about things without feeling like I have to be limit myself because of somebody else's behavior or attitude or how they're going to respond. Like I said, that was definitely something I learned a lot last year of. I guess I'd say that. And it's been fine, of course. Like I said, some folks are not going to agree with what you're doing because they're so used to you, of course, listening in or not saying nothing, or listening in and still gossiping, or whichever the case may be. I know some people are like that. Some people may stop talking to you. Just if you're in this kind of situation, just be ready to deal with that. Like I said, we can't nobody control how nobody else thinks and feels, but that will happen. I can't say in every single situation, but in some, it will happen. There's no percentage at all, but of course it will happen. Especially if the person that you're letting them know what your boundaries are is kind of ignorant along those lines, or gossipy, that kind of thing, then of course that may stop talking to you. You have to be ready to deal with that. Yes, it'd be sad to let go of that relationship or that person, but that's something you have to decide. I can't make you decide that, but you have to decide that. Whether you want to have your sanity and not be in the middle of situations or what. Or you want to be respected. That's something you have to think about. I definitely had to think about that because times when I was growing up, I did not have appropriate boundaries. Different things would occur, happen. I'm trying to think like the name of the situation right now. Well, you know what? I guess when I was married, actually, of course, in-laws and stuff like that. Sometimes, of course, there were situations that may have occurred. I don't know why it's always with women, but it just seems like different things going on. Whether it was gossiping about me or to their friends or to their whoever, co-workers or whatever else, I later found out. But like I said, it just depends on the person. But of course, or gossiping to whoever. Well, I don't have a situation right now, but I can't think right now. But as far as situations with boundaries and stuff like that, like I said, I have dealt with them as well. With my in-laws, that was years ago. But like I said, I have to learn how to set my. Well, actually, I do have one. Because speaking about the in-laws, back in the day, that was years ago, but I'm divorced now. But I used to be, of course, I'm a happy-go-lucky, want to be helpful, all that kind of stuff kind of person. And of course, in-laws, of course, a lot of people, two mainly, didn't know how to drive or didn't drive at all. So of course, I was the one who was, of course, taking people along to the stores, and whether I wanted to go or not, I was trying to be nice and helpful, that kind of thing. And after a while, of course, it just seems to be like, okay, that's all you all want me around for, just to take you to the store, to do this, to do that. And once I got into another relationship, of course, some of that stuff had to stop, because me and, of course, the guy I was dating, of course, we were trying to get to know each other and all that kind of stuff, so I couldn't continue to take him to the store every single day or twice a week or whatever it was, go out to Walmart, do all these extra trips, because he and I were trying to get to know each other, that kind of thing. And like I said, I had to, of course, let them know that. And it was, oh, you changed, you this, you that. Okay, yeah, I am going to change. I'm dating somebody. I can't have you being, above this person when I'm trying to get to even know this person. I'm not saying they weren't important, I'm not saying that at all, but I'm trying to get to know this person. We're trying to go out on dates, and I'm not stopping my date to come take you to the store or anything like that at all. I'm stopping my me and his time, that kind of thing at all. A few times I did. And I was, of course, he was considerate in the beginning, that kind of thing, which I was thankful for that. But, of course, over time, it just got to be like, okay, when I couldn't go, they seemed like they had an attitude, and it was, you doing this, you doing that, you used to do this, all that kind of stuff, blaming me for all this stuff when it was their responsibility to get their own selves to the store. Like I said, it took me years. I did understand that. But like I said, it took me years to, of course, get up the courage to, of course, tell them that. I guess I'd say that. Like I said, I've always known that. But it just took me years to, of course, have the courage to, of course, say that to them. But I'm not going to do this because you keep asking. I have to do I have my time. I have my partner's time, that kind of thing. So it got to a point, like I said, I had to, with that relationship, of course, fizzled on out and ended. I guess put it that way as well. Me and my husband were already divorced by then. They were just another support system that I thought I could have in my life. But like I said, as time went on, I guess things happened the way they happened. But like I said, as time went on, it just seems like I wasn't my time and energy, anything I was doing wasn't being respected. So I had to just let go. I mean, other things happened. I'm not going to get into that video, this video right now, but and I will talk about that at some point. But like I said, other things had happened, but I don't know. It just became a tit and tat back and forth type thing, and I don't deal with that. So like I said, it had to be cut short after about 14, 15 years, maybe of knowing them actually. But that happens. Like I said, you have to be ready to, of course. If you're wanting to, of course, set your boundaries and let people know how you feel, sometimes the relationships will end no matter how long you've known them. It could be parents, it could be grandparents, it could be cousins, sisters, whatever. Sometimes that will happen. I haven't really talked to them at all. In about 10 years, I guess. I don't know, a long time actually. But like I said, that's something that at the time I didn't realize it was going to get to that point, but it has, and that's that. I guess that's the only thing I can say about that. So there's nothing I can do about it, but I have to stand up for myself. Like I said, at some point, if you want to be happy with what you're doing, you have to stand up for yourself. And that's my last egg, y'all. That's the 10th egg. Like I said, you have to learn how to stand up for yourself. I mean, nobody else is going to do that for you, as I figured out. Nobody's going to do that for me but me. I have to be the one to stand up for myself and tell people what I'm going to put up with, what I'm going to deal with, and what I'm not going to put up and deal with. Like I said, that was my fault back in the day. I know that. I've been knowing that I had to stand up for myself, but of course I was thinking like maybe, oh, I don't treat so-and-so this way, so they shouldn't treat me that way. Maybe they'll change. Stuff like that doesn't change. If you're, of course, around people and they're noticing that you're doing certain things wrong, they're going to keep if they're users, they will keep getting things out of you, whatever they can get out of you, until you stop. Put it that way. Like I said, majority of the time, those kind of relationships end, but you just have to deal with that as they come. Sadly. Now put the 10 eggs in there, y'all. What's next? Okay, and it's actually, I have to go get my sifter, y'all, so give me 1 second. But it's actually 4 cups of sifted flour, so I gotta get my sifter, so give me 1 second. Okay, y'all, I got my sifter, so I can just put flour all over. I don't know how to put flour put in there. And I have like a cup sifter. Now, I did not show it to you. I don't know if I can get it over and show it, because it's a big cup sifter. Let me see if I can stay. Okay, yeah, it looks like this. And like inside of it, there's like a little sifting, little mechanics in there. And it has like a little thing on the side so I can pull to sift the flour with. I'm going to be filling this up with 4 cups of flour, or as much as I can put in there. Because I don't know if all 4 is going to go in there, but I may have to do 2 at a time. We'll see. Oh, here's my flour. Oh, actually, I got a bag in the closet. Let me get that first. And use up all this first, and then I'll just use this part and her part to take it around the closet. So let me see how many I can get in here, y'all. I don't know how many cups this actually holds, so we'll see. I'm doing the same thing as I did with the flour, with the sugar. With the flour. Is I'm taking my knife to, of course, like with the flat end, to of course level it once I put it into my measuring cup. That'll make sure there's nothing over 4 cups. You don't want to have just a whatever kind of amount of flour you want to put in there, y'all. Your cake probably come out hella dry. So make sure you measure this thing perfectly, as best as you can get. Now the cakes, I will of course homemade cakes. I will of course follow the recipe. But as far as my cooking, as you all saw in my other demos, I may not follow the recipe, of course, all the way it's supposed to be, but with that you can do, not with bacon, y'all. If you don't put the right ingredients in there, you just a whole lot of shit's creamy. It's gonna be messed up. Too dry, too moist, falling apart, stuck to the pan, whatever the case may be. So you gotta make sure that you're measuring it right, y'all. Okay, I got 2 in there now. I'm just gonna go ahead and sift these 2. I'll go ahead and sift these two over there. Actually, I gotta lift this up first. Lift it up. So I'm not gonna be able to actually, I'll lift it up so I can put the flour in there, y'all. I probably should have sifted this first, but that's okay. I'm just sifting it on in there, y'all. Yeah, I probably should have sifted this in something else first, but that's okay. I'll do the best I should have thought about that before, but that's okay. Actually, you know what? That's probably gonna be better. Cause I ain't gonna be able to do all that. That's too much to be in an area like that. Shit. Okay. Let me see. I'll put it in a plastic bag or something. I don't know what to put it in right now. I'm gonna have to do this in a plastic bag or something, then just pour it on in there, because I can't even put this in there, even get the flour over there. So, maybe a ghetto way, but that's okay, y'all. Yeah, it's okay. Trying to get the rest of the flour in there. There we go. Okay, so I'm just sifting this into a bag so I can pour it over easily into the batter, actually, is what I'm doing now. I did not have, I should have had it sifted already. Which I did not do, but that's okay. But just to get back to the boundaries, just make sure, like I said, that you're setting your boundaries for yourself. I mean, like I said, that's no matter where you're at. It doesn't have to be a gossipy situation, but just any situation. I mean, if you're in a, because I mean, my parents, of course, used to fight all the time. I mean, him, like, be physically abusing my mom. And of course, at some point, of course, I know that it's control, but of course, my mom would have had to set those boundaries, I guess, like a long time ago, and set that relationship, I guess I would say. Like I said, sometimes I've worked with teen moms, single moms, that kind of thing for about like a little bit over 10 years, and I saw a lot of them not setting boundaries with their boyfriends or their mates either. So like I said, that's something that you definitely have to do. If that person's not respecting you to any kind of extent, you shouldn't move forward with them. And of course, I know we used to tell the young ladies that, but they make their own decisions. That's how you learn for one. But I mean, nothing nobody can really do about that. That's the kind of decision that they're making. To talk to them until you're blue in the face. It doesn't mean that because you talk to them because you're a social worker or because you're this or that they want to listen. 9 times out of 10 they didn't. But like I said, that's something that they eventually learn. Let's not say that. That's all I can say about that. But like I said, they definitely had to learn with that too. So. Now I'm taking some of this sifted sugar, flour. This is only 2 cups yet, y'all. I got the other 2 to go, but this is only the first 2 cups. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn this another way because this oven is getting hot actually. Shit. Okay, I'm trying to move this, y'all, because this oven's hot back here. And I hope this thing don't fall or anything. I should have thought about that. I ain't used this thing in a long time. I normally don't use it, but I'm trying to show y'all how to make this cake. And still having some complications here, but that's alright. Next time when I make a cake, will probably be at my new place, because I'll be moving in the next month, y'all. And that place does have counters, so I can actually have a camera going on the counter. I'll put it that way, so. Burning up the back of this doggone thing back there, so. Still taking it back the other way, y'all. Now, I apologize for y'all not being able to see this very, very well, but like I said, I was trying to do the best I could with this cake, but I don't have anybody to actually hold the camera to do these videos with me, so like I said, the next time I will make sure that I set this up a different way, so that you all can, of course, see somewhat of what's going on. So, like I said, I do have to move in the next. So I had to move anyway, but I guess I could tell you all about that too, but since I have to move anyway. We have to. Well, actually, I was given until the 1st of February to be out of my apartment now. It was like the time was pushed back several times, that kind of thing. It gave me more time, of course, to be here, but I knew eventually I would, of course, still would have to move. But of course, the apartment that we were looking at, it had to have inspections and stuff like that, and the occupancy permit had to be redone and stuff like that as well. So of course, I had to wait. That was back in like October, I think, or September, late September. The gas leak had to be fixed, and of course, I had to wait, that kind of thing. And now the time has come, so she was just letting me know that, of course, I know there's been so much time gone with all these scholarships and stuff like that, but she was giving me until the first to, of course, again, 1st of January actually. So there was going to be no way that I was going to, of course, it would take, because of course, I have friends to help, but of course, I have my truck to help, of course, to move all my stuff in. So of course, I didn't want to get to my new apartment, and of course, I didn't have any kind of furniture, that kind of things. I have to get new furniture, living room, bedroom set, all that kind of stuff as well. But this is very old, of course, and worn and stuff like that. But so of course, I knew that was going to take at least a few weeks throughout that month. And I'm like, okay, if I got to pay rent for December and then pay it again in January to move in January, I don't want to pay rent again twice. I mean, we're here twice, I guess I put it that way. So she said by the first we had to, of course, our lease had to be signed. So that means you have to, of course, move in on that day. If you're, well, in my mind, I know you don't have to move in on that particular day, but in my mind, you have to move in on that day. That's you have to pay, because if not, I would have to pay rent there and then pay rent here again for the whole month of January and moving out that month. So, of course, I had to work it out where I had to, of course, be gone by the 1st of January as much as I can, or like that first weekend in January. So, of course, that's going to, it's putting me in the bind, but that's okay. I'm sure I can make it happen. I know that's a month, but I can make that happen, so that's okay. Like I said, I'll be moving next month, most of next month, actually. I should be hopefully done by the end of the month before Christmas, hopefully. I ain't going to say hopefully, I will be done by then, and everything done and moved in, so I won't have to, so I'll be officially there. Should be by Christmas, or by the 1st of the year, I guess I would say. At the latest. But like I said, that's when I will be, of course, moving. It'll be throughout the month next month. I know I didn't want to move any time at all during the holiday season. I either want to move before or after, but that's okay. It didn't work out that way. I'm sure it was for a reason. I'm sure that, but it's okay. That's okay. Things happen like that sometimes. And I tried to control it as much as I could about the time and doing this and doing that, but she wasn't willing to wait for a whole month of January to sign a lease at the end of the month. So she said it has to be by the 1st of January. So we had to, in order for that to be possible, I had to go ahead and make that. We had to make a choice. It was going to be the month of December and be done by the 1st, and that's how that was going to have to be. So otherwise, it wasn't going to work out from where her schedule was and all that kind of stuff. So which I understand. But she's trying to pay taxes and do different things on her building, but shoot, I just wasn't ready to, of course, inherit a pack like that, but that's okay. I know that happens. And this was actually a friend of mine, but I don't know her personally, but I mean, a friend of mine actually rented from her another place in University City, Missouri, so that's how I got connected with this renter person. And it has been going on for a while with the inspections and that kind of thing, and I know she was expecting me to move in, like once they were done, like that following month, because I have to give a 1 month notice here, so I knew that. I just thought that she maybe give me a little bit of time to, of course, start getting stuff together, looking for furniture, but I can still do that next month. That's not a problem. Sometimes we have our own plans, which I'm learning to deal with that. Learning to deal with how, of course, my sense of control. I guess I say that. I'm always trying to control something. Oh my God, it has to happen like this, it has to happen like that. In this situation, I didn't have any control of the situation at all. And of course that bothered me, but that's okay. I'm learning how to let go of that kind of control. I cannot control when stuff expires. I cannot control when people come out to actually do their inspections. I can't control any of those kind of things. I couldn't control that she wanted to have the lease signed by the 1st of January. At the latest, I couldn't do that either. So, like I said, for me, instead of having to pay another rent in January for this current apartment, I'd rather just go ahead and get it all done. It could be 2 months rent. 1 month at least. That could be a half, either a living room sofa or something like that. Instead of having a bed or something, instead of having to pay another month rent. So And I can just get it done this month. I know that's kind of a bind, but she said by the first, so that's what the situation is, I guess I'd say. In order to be moved in by the first, it has to be this month, this coming month in December, so that's all right. That's all right. Like I said, things didn't work out the way I planned. I was looking at the end of January, but she said no. She understand that it's her property, so, but that was a no, and she wanted to have a move in within the month, because that's all I had to give for my 1 month notice, so like, alrighty, that's fine. Like I said, I couldn't control that because that's not my property, so that's the only place right now that I had as a yes for a move in. I guess I say that because I had to be out of here. So I had been touring and looking around before that, but no place was kind of, most of them were very expensive, but this place is actually an okay rent price. It's not bad, so like I'll just choose this and I'll just go ahead and go with that. So whatever it is, you're gonna have to make it work. So it's how I look at that one. So just fine. Like I said, I know we all get in those kind of mindsets where we want to control everything and everything should happen our way. And like I said, I know with the situations that I've tried to force like that, a lot of times that didn't work out as I planned. I can tell you that. Okay, this is a bunch of, I don't like this thing at all. I'm not using this thing no more. I don't like this thing at all because it's not even mixing up right. That's the only thing I hate about this stand mixer. I don't know if it's the mixer brand or what, but it's definitely not mixing up right for me at all. It never does. That's why I usually use the handheld one, but I would have rocked this entire thing again. Probably had it fallen off probably more than just one time. Let me see if I can, I don't like this thing at all. At all. It's not mixing up right to me. Better, but it just seems like it's not working well to me for some reason. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's the brand or what. I don't know what brand it is. I got it from Walmart. Rival or something like that. It's the brand name. Doesn't seem like it's going right to me. But like I said, that's what's going on as far as the move goes. Like I said, at the next place I will have counter space to, of course, have these kind of videos, so you all can actually see me cook and stuff, see it on the camera. So, and the last thing to add to this, y'all, is 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and that's it. It has to mix well, and that's it, y'all. And as far as putting this into the pan, I can show you all that too if you like. That's not a problem. I'm just gonna have to move all this stuff first. Oh, shoot. Okay, I think I put too much vanilla. That's okay. I poured a little bit too much vanilla in there, y'all, but it shouldn't bother it too much. Shouldn't be too watery or anything like that at all. But I think I did pour a little bit too much in there. That's okay, it happens. It happens, especially on that one. I'm just trying to clean up my little space. I'll be right back, y'all. So I can put this sifter back. Okay, here we go. I'm ready. I'm back, y'all. I'm about to get this vanilla mixed in here well. I may have to be downstairs again over here with this little spatula. See it sticking up over there, so. Try to see if I can do it with this on. We'll see. Okay, I guess I can. I don't have to keep cutting it back and forth, so. There we go. So I can get that on around, because like I said, it beats better when it goes the other way. Definitely does. Smooth, y'all. Alright. That looks awesome, actually, y'all. I want thank y'all for staying along. Staying with me this long, looking at this cake, y'all. Trying to make, well, I guess, my first pound cake, first any kind of sweets recipe. I guess, well, not recipe, but demonstration. Lord, I can't get the words out now. But I just want to thank you all for staying along, like I said, with me for this. Because it's my first time ever making a cake on video, so, and I'm seeing the issues that I'm having with with not having the appropriate space, but like I said, that's all right. I wanted to do demos and stuff like that, so I'm making it do, y'all. Sometimes you gotta do that. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you just gotta make it do what it do. You don't have enough room, figure it out, it'll work some kind of way. It's how I look at things, so. I'm just cleaning the cake mix off of here, y'all. I'm probably gonna lick one of these a little bit later. I know they always say, don't do that to the cake mix, you're gonna be sick. I have never been sick in all the years I've ever licked cake mix off of anything, so. I can't tell you all that, but I know I've been fine. I don't know if anybody else out there lick cake mix bowls or beaters or anything. But I just have like a little spoon of it actually. Not spoon, but I guess like a little part on the beater actually is all I'll have, but. Uh-oh. So I actually got to move this whole thing, y'all, to give y'all, let me see. I actually got to, now I'll stick it back. Ooh, please don't fall. Please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall. Okay. I actually got to set this cake mix behind me. Unplug this and get these things out of here, y'all. I forgot how to get oh, it's on the side. I forgot how to get this out of here. Okay. And actually, I might even want to mess with these beaters. I'll leave them alone. Let's see. Right now, I gotta get this cake in. I do want to thank y'all for listening to my spiel today about boundaries. I gotta get that cake mix off this thing. This cake mix all up there. I'll get it off after the video's over with. I got cake mix all on top, all in the mixer, y'all. But I'll get that off shortly. I ain't gonna worry about it right now. Okay, so this is my bump pan. Like I said, I have to get that prepared before I can even put the cake in there. Cause if not, I won't have shit but a cake with pieces of cake all over the place. So you actually have to, well, I'm just using, whatever, it's just olive oil cooking spray. Spraying the whole, I have to go by the trash can though. But spraying it, making sure I get the middle of the bun, pan, everything. Has to be sprayed down, y'all. Your cake will not stick. And I also have to get a little bit of flour to put on the pan as well. And some people use, just to let y'all know, some people use butter to, of course, grease the pan with. I'm not using butter, but some people do. Just keep that in mind. You can use butter if you like. But there's mainly taking a stick of butter and just rubbing a stick up and down and things. But like I said, that just seems like a lot to me. When I can just go ahead and use the spray, and it sprays everything. Like I said, I always put flour to dust the coat along the sides and everywhere. I always do. So it's just so it won't stick, y'all. Cause I had these damn cakes stick, and I was very pissed off. So I'm telling y'all, to avoid having your cake stick, please flour and grease the sides. Please flour and grease the sides, y'all. And I always beat it out there like that, so I can. Of course, I didn't get all that, but. I got to do this on the trash can. So I can't get the middle. So like the tube part in the middle. So I've had my cake before it stick to this hole. I was very upset, y'all. Yeah, I could have saw me spitting flames that day. I was so mad. I won't say spitting flames, but I was very upset, y'all. It was my fault because I didn't grease it properly and flour it properly. Everything was stuck to it. I was so mad. They had to redo that whole entire cake. With all the ingredients just going down the drain, y'all. But like I said, that's my fault. I know now. Okay, so let me see how I'm going to be able to pick up this bowl and actually put this mix in there. This spatula ain't going to work. I can tell you that already. Don't do like I did, y'all. The spatula ain't working. I'm going to have to get a big spoon or something, because that definitely ain't working. Trying to see what I can use. Those have holes in them. I just use this for the cup. I don't know what else to use right quick. But y'all be sitting here forever while I figure this out. So I just use the fourth of a cup. That's the first one I had over there. mixing cup, so I use that. So okay, let me go ahead and start getting this put over in there. So I'm just gonna be dipping this in there and just putting the batter inside this pan, y'all. And after you bake your, like I said, after you get done with your batter, you'll have to scoop it up out the pan, up out your bowl, because of course it's a very thick batter. It's a pound cake. Make sure that you spread it evenly across your bundt pan or whatever kind of pan you're putting it in. Some folks use those fluted pans, which is the same thing as a bundt pan almost, just doesn't have all these little ridges in there that I know of. Now I could be saying that wrong, but the bundt is just like the kind of pan that it's in, y'all. That's all. It's called a bundt pan. The cake comes out circle. That's all that is. But you can put your pound cake in like a loaf pan if you wanted to. But it's like a loaf of bread pan almost, like I think it's like a half a size, like a loaf of bread almost. The loaf pans that you can buy, you can get them from Dollar Tree or Family Dollar, whatever store you want to get them from, Walmart. You can order them from Amazon, wherever you want to get them from. The bundt pans the same way. You can get them from, not the dollar store, but you can order them. And this pan that I'm using, I actually found this at a thrift store for like $3 actually, y'all. That was about a year and a half ago maybe. And that was came right on time. I was in there looking for some pans. I'm like, can I find some cake pans? And I found this, so I'm like, I'm using this. Taking this and running with it, so. Uh-oh. So I actually used that, y'all. I'm just scooping this all inside this bundt pan. That's all I'm doing. And if you're using those smaller loaf pans, I think three of those loaf pans equal like one bundt cake. No, I guess like with the mix, when I actually did the mix and that kind of thing. So three loaf pans full of mix is one whole bundt pan, y'all, filled with the mix. That's how mine came out. So I'm trying to even this out a little bit, just kind of get around the sides. Okay. So according to the recipe, it says it's supposed to rise a lot. So I don't know how much because I've never used this recipe before, but that's what it said in the description of the recipe I found online. This thing is heavy, y'all. This damn bowl heavy. So let me see. Almost to the end. There we go. To the end, y'all. Like Chucky said, I'm your friend to the end. So there we go. I got all of that as much as I can get out of there. Uh-oh. Okay, so here's my bundt cake inside the pan, y'all. So y'all can see what it looks like. That's how it looks like. I tried to smooth it out as best as I could. And like I said, I'm going to put this into the oven. It says an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. And like I said, I always, I may not leave it another full time. But like I said, I always look and check my cake like once or twice, not the whole time because you'll mess up your temperatures. But I'll look at my cake to see whether it's like removed from the side a little bit. If it's starting to like draw away from the side, that to me means that it's done. But I still will stick a toothpick in it to make sure that it's completely done in the inside and not any parts that's like half done in the middle, something like that. So I always do that. But like I said, with that, I'm going to go ahead and put this cake in there. And don't forget it's called old-fashioned blue ribbon pound cake. And you can find this online because I found it online as well. The only thing it took was 2 cups of real butter, 3.5 cups of sugar, 10 large eggs at room temperature as well, 4 cups of sifted all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And that's all that you have to have for this recipe. And if you need to go back to the recipe to, of course, write down the directions, that kind of thing, and definitely feel free to do so. If not, you can, of course, like I said, find the recipe online. So with that, I want to go ahead and thank you all for tuning in this afternoon to this video and for my demonstration for my first ever sweets, my first ever pound cake being made on video. Even though it failed the first time, but that's okay. But like I said, when I move in the next, over the next month, I will do another cake demonstration demonstration, and you will be able to see my entire process on that. So like I said, with that, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. And I will, of course, as I do my other cooking demonstrations and stuff like that, I'll make sure that I keep you all updated as well as far as the movies going. So So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get my butt off here. I just want to thank you all again for tuning in. Again, this is Tonetta Clay, my channel, of course, on YouTube. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure that you subscribe by clicking the button to your right and also clicking the notification bell to set it to all so that you can receive all of my demonstrations, all of the videos that I post on here on YouTube. So with that, I'm going to get my butt off here. Again, thank you, and everybody have a great rest of your day.